that brings the best for our customers to deliver the fast applications.
Yeah, so that brings up, a lot of people have this dreaded fear of DevOps because there's no testing in DevOps. But the truth is, I know for a fact, everyone that's really trying to succeed with this highly automated and highly operationalized lifecycle with DevOps, they are doing testing. So kind of what are the things that are specific to DevOps that you guys are bringing to market?
Oh, actually, I have very good news in terms of DevOps. And I just want to do a pause here. Regarding DevOps, Mark, it's interesting because this is something that has been said forever in other nomenclatures. Whenever I start even working at IT, we always talk about this integration between development and ops and go times by times. And now it came back again. There's a very hot topic in the market. But, overall, when you talk about DevOps, it's definitely a cultural change in a company, right? Yeah. And how the company does the business, how the company delivers the applications end to end, right? Managing the end to end. But of course, and I want to mention to you that I was in another show at the time, and I was talking about DevOps with many customers. And that the most important point is where the customers struggle within the life cycle to deliver fast. And also, again, the DevOps integration is very important, but sometimes integration piece is missing in the beginning of the life cycle. Mm-hmm. That's the requirements, right? Yeah. So that would be part of the DevOps. Or sometimes integration between dev and test. That's another piece that can be pitched on. Or even DevOps, the moving the applications or releases to operations, right? Yeah. That can be part of DevOps as well. So we need to identify where the customer has the issues and the cultural change. But regarding to this release, we have also solutions that fit in all the, I would say, areas within DevOps, but specifically the Agile Manager bring that integration and view over the DevOps end to end. Okay. And then with that, we have another solution called CODAR. And then CODAR.
Like code, CODR?
Yeah, COGAR, CODAR. Seems like a space name, right? But no, it's a product name.
It is. It's like science fiction name.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly. It's very cool. Star Wars or something like that. Yeah, I love it.
Like you would have no idea what it is. So is it an acronym? Does it stand for something?
Wow, that's a good question. That I don't remember, but I can check that for the next podcast. But for now, CODAR is a platform, actually as a solution that's developed on top of the operation orchestration solution that we have. And then basically it works like a really release management tool. It's very interesting because you can define your environment even for in between dev and test and test and operations or development and operations. You divide all the environments that you have. You say all the applications that you have that you want to migrate, and then you can automate the process to move the application over. So once the application is tested, development gives the okay to move to production, and then you just use the application, click, and in 3 steps, basically, you have the application move to production. So very, very simple.
Does this work in sort of moving virtual machines with apps, or does it actually, will it do traditional sort of, recompilation and deployment and all the automation? So it really does run on top of the orchestration engine that's been around for a long time, yeah?
Yes. And again, for both, as you mentioned, you can do some integration and I would say releases in the cloud as well, or on premises. So that's the neat thing. And we're going to bring that on STP for sure.
Yeah. So come and show up at the booth and see a live demo or something.
Yeah. We're going to ask you what your challenge is and have a good discussion to understand your problem. And then not just pitch about solution, but also best practices and how to adopt and improve what you already have.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, Silvia, near and dear to my heart is the performance world. And as a longtime load runner guy. So maybe we can drill down a little bit more into what's happening with some of the new products, because we have talked about Storm Runner and kind of what's happening with this 12.2 in the specific products. So what can you tell me?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to be fair if I say I will leave the best for the last, because it's not true. Everything is very good, right? But of course, I want to pitch about the Storm Runner load. Yeah. And you guys need to come and see the dark side of a storm. Like that, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the dark side of the storm. But the storm that clears up and helps you guys with performance. So it's our new solution that we launched like 15 months ago, officially, Storm Runner Load. That's the name of our suite. It's performance test in the cloud. And it's smart, simple, and scalable. Do you like that?
Yeah. But like everything should be smart, simple, and scalable. So
exactly.
Yes,
so that's why I bring that to the market. So very simple, because you can really do quick tests with our performance applications, quick performance tests with your applications in the cloud. Mm-hmm. Very simple, very easy. Don't need even to script to do your test. Yeah. So our EVP was able to create a transaction and simulate a transaction on this application in less than 10 minutes. He was able to do it without training. So
okay, but we're not encouraging executive vice presidents to get into testing. That's not really just hands off. Just let us take care of that, right?
This is like so marketing. But anyway, let me go back to the news, right, and take it out my marketing hat here. But
fine.
Anyway, it's a very cool, a simple application that allows customers to do the test, and then we can I would say scale from like one user to millions of users across the regions, because we are leveraging cloud and we are leveraging Amazon, Helion, and Azure now, right? And then you can do tests anywhere. You can create the load generators on the flow. Very, very simple and very easy.
Yeah. For people who, were familiar from a load runner performance center perspective using the True Client type of interface for scripting, you can use the same True Client. In fact, I think you may be able to use almost any other, you can upload any kind of virtual user into Storm Runner. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah. And then, the good news now is that we integrate with JMeter. So that's the new release. So the release now 1.3, right? Basically part of this package 12.20 allows developers to get their JMeters and then plug in and just execute the test. So we have also the dev licensing that is half the price, that allows developers to do the test. And again, you can just test for free for a month.
Yeah. So that's awesome too. I mean, you see a lot to connect what folks, if you got a set of results from JMeter in your dev environment, or let's say you're actually, you've got siloed organizations between dev and ops, and you want to bring people together, you don't have to have divergent tools and divergent result sets. You can kind of merge them together and make it flow. And so you can see the same numbers progress along the life cycle. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah, and Mark, as you mentioned, performance, right, is growing so much. We did a award quality report, and then we do that every year, major research globally, and it's so interesting how the CIOs are investing so much more in performance nowadays. Yeah, you can see that the need for performance testing have grown for 50 to 60% now to 74%. They are taking that as much as important as security and as functional tests. So that's awesome to know, because this really causes issues for the business. We see large corporations that has issues about performance sometimes, that they don't just lose money for the transactions, but they lose sometimes market share. They also lose even stock, money in the stock. So that's very critical.
And honestly, on some of these point load things, in the Perf Bytes world, we do the news of the damned of people who are crashing their websites. You can lose everything on an outage. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's nothing new. But a lot of executives nowadays don't understand that cutting the budget around performance can actually be an Achilles heel for the whole company. You could have a marvelous website, marvelous functionality, great security, and it only scales for 2 or 3 people, and you're done. So that can be very dangerous. What else is going on? Other products. Now, we talked a little bit about service virtualization or network virtualization, but there's several other HP products that are obviously part of this outside of performance, right?
Oh, yes. And, I mentioned the Agile Manager before. That's a very important release that supports a lot our DevOps, right? And the mobile center, actually, I want to focus a little bit of the mobile center because, again, people talk about functional tests and also for performance, they sometimes focus just in the back end. But the mobile center connect to performance brings also the feasibility for front end tests and network virtualization the same. So when you combine network virtualization plus store runner, mobile center, you can have the whole visibility. The good thing about Mobile Center now, I mentioned before a little bit about the product, but we are supporting several languages. So we are going across the globe with maybe 5, 6 new languages. And for Store Runner as well, we are supporting Chinese and Japanese now.
Really?
Very cool stuff. And we are launching these products like in a heartbeat. We are having release like every month. But we are bundling, like, doing a package release as we did now.
Yeah. So does the Mobile Center actually help then? And, you think about the sort of older people in the Frankenstein device, the Device Anywheres, and some of the earlier QTP mobile capabilities that were like local tethered tablets or mobile devices. And now that's all sort of matured technology. The next hurdle is this: like, how are you going to localize all of your tests? And does this help actually take a test in, say, English and turn it into Portuguese?
Well, Portuguese just if it's with me, right? Because I'm from Brazil, but Mobile Center doesn't speak my language yet.
Not yet. Okay. So.
But Mobile Center speaks Japanese, Chinese, French, German, right? Portuguese is going to be in a couple of months, I would say.
You need to get to work on that.
I need to teach the product Portuguese. That's what it is.
That's awesome. Okay. But it also, I mean, it's still, it's the next level of maturity where people have gotten. I had a great conversation on STP Radio with Raj Subramanian talking about his early research in mobile. And again, those are the first hurdles of what is the test matrix, what are the tools capable of, and some of them were not very mature back when he was doing it. Now the whole we're all working on that next level of, wow, gosh, now we can take on, how do we get to these other languages, and does the test automation change as I move to these other devices? And of course, there's still always various devices with more form factors and different sizes and different capabilities, right?
Oh yeah, and then think about this, like Facebook, they have like inquiries from 7,000 different types of devices every day.
Wow.
It's a lot. Like, think about companies, they're going to get to some of that. I would say maybe 3,000 a day, 3,000 different devices, right? Yeah. I mean, how to maintain, test, all of that. So, and Mobile Center offers a lab of devices, and that's a cool thing. And then, we think about just mobile phones now, but I'm going to tell, like, in a few days, we're going to start to have testing in watches and, the glasses and everything that you can think about. Your refrigerator, right?
Your dishwasher.
Your dishwasher. God knows what you have to test. So I'm going to invest in all of that. So that's when you leverage, like, your lab management, a tool like that, and,
right.
Have your functionality all, like, in a place.
Now, what about in our near and dear QTP and UFT? In the UFT world, what is coming that's new?
Oh, okay. So UFT, we have two major items there, and we are increasing more our integration with the source code subversions within,
so like GitHub and Subversion, etc.
Exactly, absolutely that,
Great.
And also the shifts left, right? So helping more and more developers to integrate with the unit test, functional test. So Jenkins integration and other tools, other development tools like Selenium as well.
Okay.
So we are doing all of that, all the integrations to bring more close the developer community and the ops integration.
That sounds really awesome. And I actually started using WinRunner, 20 some years ago, a really long time.
Oh wow!
And yeah, exactly. So being there when we had actually moved on from QTP into UFT, and it just keeps growing. It's still exciting. It seems like a never-ending space for innovation and cool new ideas. So thanks. And again, it's the 12.20 suite of releases. Thanks
to all to this community. Thanks for every customer that has been helping and be part of that, because to the community that we are getting where we are getting to. So that's awesome. We have this large community that helps a lot.
Yes, we call you up and we complain about things and we're frustrated and then and if most vendors, you never hear people who are just elated with your product. And most people in product development, especially technology, you don't often see, it's just the stars on the App Store. So I will say kudos to you guys. Again, this is the 12.20 release suite. We could check out more. Let's talk a little bit about how folks can get in touch with HP and follow HP. Now, obviously, there's the Twitter handle, HP Software, and there's an HP LoadRunner Twitter handle as well, I think, right?
Yes, we have 3 Twitter handles. We have the HP Software, we have the HP Software ALM, and then we have also the HP LoadRunner.
Yes, that's I started that one. So good. But there's so many other ways to get in touch with you guys, especially through